Hello, this will be a channel message for you, for your highest good, and I trust that it found you at the perfect time. I really appreciate you being here with me today. It means the world, and I love you so much. I would just like to give a quick shout out to you, because if you've been following along with these readings, or even if this reading is finding you now at the perfect time, there has been a huge amount of inner growth and inner expansion. There's been a lot of work done. So I really appreciate you guys doing that in working to elevate the collective consciousness. And I was called to say that before I pulled any cards today. But I do think that knowing and that appreciation for how much expansion has happened already is really going to help us moving forward with this message today. So with that being said, I see you guys showing up as the Four of Pentacles and the King of Cups. This very feminine King of Cups being displayed as the muse of emotions here. And I really do see you guys filling up your own emotional cup here and really working on pulling your energy back a little bit, trying to build up some level of energetic reserves and really fill up that own cup. I'm seeing this like camel down here too. So like I say, really building up and just protecting your own energy here, I think, which is really good, because I believe we need that at this time. And I see this now leading to potentially a level of freedom that has been attained, or just feeling like you have a bit more space to enjoy life with the Nine of Pentacles on your feminine side. So definitely there's been a lot of healing around some kind of financial trauma that might have existed, or self-worth issues. I feel you guys are stepping into the knowing that this is the life you want and deserve. And now through the act of maybe just saving money or pulling your energy back a little bit so that you can fill up your own cup, this is leading to some amount of space. It's giving you some kind of mental space to just enjoy life and step away from some of this worrisome energy that potentially has been haunting you for a while. So that's really good. I see you guys stepping more into that present moment and that enjoyable frequency, which is really good. I think in the act of doing this and now moving through this process where we have a little bit more mental space, it's now bringing up some emotions here with the Queen of Cups in reverse, also on your feminine side. I think this is bringing up some emotions and some feelings that just need to be felt. I'm hearing like emotions that have been trapped in your body that need to come up and be processed and felt now. So be very kind with yourself at this time. And just keep nurturing yourself, nurturing those emotions. Keep pouring into your own cup until it's full. When your cup is full, that's when you'll be able to share this life. But this emotional work and this level of emotional processing does take energy as well. So just be really kind to yourself at this time. Be really patient. And like I was saying right at the start of the reading, there's been a massive amount of growth. There's been a massive amount of expansion that has happened in a very short period of time. So I'm really giving you permission to slow down, feel everything that needs to be felt, and just continue to be in the present moment. Continue to be in the present, which is the present. The present is the gift, right? And I know this might be a bit of a difficult time emotionally for some. It's important to stay present with these feelings and really feel them so that they can circulate through your body and be expressed, and you can remove them if needed and let go of them. I think maybe is a better word, letting go of them. I think that there are some fears that are coming up, and there may be feelings of fear that are a little bit difficult to define, potentially feelings of anxiety and restlessness that aren't necessarily attached to any specific narrative, but are just being felt. Some fears that are just coming up and being felt. But I do think that part of this is, I think, attributed to this alchemical process that's happening and these changes, this massive amount of inner change that's happening in your mind and your emotional space. And there's a recalibration that's happening and a rebalancing here. I get this Two of Pentacles upright and I get the Magician in reverse. I think some of this fear, potentially, is being where you are now and knowing where you want to go to live a life of this, and knowing more about what that looks like and understanding about what that looks like. And now that you're becoming clearer on that, where you are currently right now and where you want to go seems very far away. And you're struggling to see the bridge between where you are now and where you're going to go. You're struggling maybe to see how you're going to get there and how it's going to work. And I think that is what this Magician card in reverse is really signifying here. There's still a looking externally and a looking outside of your inner world, which is a very natural process that part of the brain was developed to do this, is to make sense of where we're going so that we can feel safe, basically. So I think during this process, there's a call to try and really override these systems, but do it in a nice, slow and safe way, and continue to nurture yourself and nurture your emotions and just move through this process. But still let go of that needing to look for external validation. And that doesn't necessarily have to mean validation from other people. I just mean the searching for evidence outside yourself and the trying to make sense of where this is all going, and the trying to make sense of how this is going to work and how we're going to get from A to Z. I think that is not helpful. That searching outside of ourselves and trying to collect evidence to try and make sense of this journey is not super helpful. And I just think that it's bringing up some fears, like I say, that potentially are a bit hard to define, because I think part of the fear is just there's a natural response that's happening because there's been this huge amount of growth, and then further growth and expansion that is going to happen in moving into a life that is completely unfamiliar to us. And the body just needs time to move through all of this. The body just needs time to process all of this. And I feel like it will really benefit us to just let the body catch up, continue to do this, continue to get the rest, and continue to pour into your own cup while you process these emotions and these feelings which are coming up to be felt. Because there are fears around expecting powerful change, new moon eclipse, and nothing is yet set in stone, mutable moon. And I'm just seeing all like the ocean, the really turbulent waters underneath this mutable moon here. And that's what's really giving me this idea that there's fear and feelings that are a bit hard to define, and they may be attached to, I'm hearing now that they may be attached to old narratives that you are ready to let go of and you consciously know that are not true. There are feelings that are attached to old narratives that you now know are not true, but the feelings and the turbulent emotions are still existing. They're still present inside of your body. So there's a process now of these feelings being felt as they come up, because you have maybe a little bit more time, a little bit more mental space to process this stuff. So like I said before, it's all so normal, and you're doing so well. I can't say it enough, really, because there's been this massive amount of change. So be very kind to yourself and allow your body to move slow. On this Find Your Center card, which is your gift, I'm just seeing this spiral, and it's almost like this hedge maze kind of thing, like this spiraling outwards. And this is the life's journey, and it's designed this way because we want to expand in a way that is balanced, and we have been expanding, and we have been spiraling outwards here. And the natural temptation in our 3D, in the way that our social matrix and that whole thing is constructed, it can be very tempting to want to just cut through the maze, because that would be more progress, right? Like that we would be making faster progress. But it's actually designed as this outward spiral so that we can expand in a very healthy and balanced way that may feel a little bit slow, but we need to be kind to our bodies, to our emotional self, while we go through this massive soul expansion on this soul journey. So your gift at this time is Find Your Center. Stay true to you. Call it you. So I think this hedge, maybe I'm a hedge mage. This hedge maze analogy is really good, but there's a huge message here about finding your center and being in that present moment and just trying to continue to enjoy life here and stay in this frequency and uphold this frequency of the Nine of Pentacles with this mental space, even while these emotions are coming up, which may feel a little bit heavy, and I'm sending so much love and healing energy to you, to all of you. But to still find your center in all of this and really lean into the act of stillness and the practice of meditation here, I think is going to help us more than anything. I get find your center and I get alignment. It's coming together, precision. So just this faith and this knowing that we are moving through this maze, even though it feels a little bit slow sometimes and we need to go a little bit slower than what we're used to, knowing that it's happening, we're moving in the right direction, and even me saying that, it's hard to know you're going in the right direction, right, when you're going in the spiral. But staying centered, staying grounded, really leaning into that practice of stillness, which is going to allow spirit to communicate with you, and also just staying in alignment is the key thing. Just keeping ourselves in alignment, staying at that high vibration. And I really get here with the King of Cups that you guys know what to do here with your emotions, and you have the tools to deal with these emotions. But then with this sorry about my words today, guys, but this Queen of Cups in the reverse, I'm getting the feeling of, and I'm sorry to say, maybe somebody who is really gives really good advice and knows what to do and knows how to help people with their emotional issues, but sometimes struggles to take their own advice. Like some of you guys really need to really take your own advice. I'm sorry to say, but it's the uncomfortability is the problem. It's easy for me to sit there and say, well, you need to do it, but it's not that simple when emotions are involved. I think just knowing that this is a process and being kind to yourself while still leaning on those systems and almost that level of structure and routine. I think there's a healthy parenting that needs to happen here. Being very kind to yourself and nurturing that inner child, but still following your routine and not changing everything and forcing yourself to step into a whole new life or a whole new routine. But just those 1% increases every day, and those 1% improvements in your routine. And I just think that stretching, yoga, breathing exercises, and the meditation practice daily, making sure you're doing that daily practice of meditation, that is what is going to help us feel more emotionally stable and be able to deal with these feelings that are coming up, and things are going to feel a lot easier, basically, and less turbulent. I think that leaning into this, almost this practical plan here, with this full moon in Taurus, coming up on the bottom of your the deck that it's supposed to symbolize your subconscious fears. Interestingly enough, under that I got work through your fears. New moon in Scorpio, I'm just seeing. So working through these fears and releasing this negativity by relying on these 1% improvements in your routine and actually following that routine and having that structure in your life that is going to enable you to feel safe and like things are familiar as you slowly improve, because there is change happening. I expect powerful change, and nothing yet is set in stone, like I was saying. So instead of planning out your whole year and being very rigid and having this big extravagant plan for yourself, just focusing on those 1% improvements, knowing that things are changing, your emotional center is changing. You're in almost unfamiliar territory right now because there's been so much growth. So just be kind to yourself, knowing that you're in unfamiliar territory. So your body's just trying to deal with all of this. I'm getting. I think that's really the message here. But we'll pull more cards. We won't leave it there. But okay, sorry, these are just flying everywhere now. I think that the staying in alignment and just having those chakras aligned through the act of feeling these feelings is really the key here. And I think a lot of this is going to come back to stillness being the key. So I really get with this 9 of Pentacles in reverse and this 10 of Pentacles upright in your past position. Very interesting, somewhat conflicting energy. But I see you working on the money and the energetic reserves and knowing what is needed to almost make those investments in yourself with this 4 of Pentacles. It's like you've known what kind of investment needed to be made in yourself, and there's been this flip. I'm getting it. It's like you've felt a little bit like this. So you've been working on this frequency and trying to really maintain this energy of the 10 of Pentacles. And now, because that was in your past position here, I get it's almost flipped. And you're in this much more kind of stable, energetic position with this 4 of Pentacles and this 9 of Pentacles here, which is really good. I won't focus too much on that because I think that we've been working a lot on that. And I don't think we really need to rehash the money stuff because you guys are looking really good in terms of what you're doing to maintain your energy. It's more of just this emotional stuff that we're dealing with. And this 2 of Pentacles and the Star in reverse in your current energy is interesting. I think there's still a juggling that's happening of things outside of yourself and maybe things that are not potentially your responsibility here, or you feel maybe obligated to do in the 3D, but it's not actually part of your soul's purpose here. Because I did get in your masculine energies the 2 of Pentacles and the Magician in the reverse. So I think that there's a balancing out here and there's an alchemical process that's happening, which is really the focus is how can I do things that are more aligned with my higher purpose? How can I take inspired action? Okay, how can I give myself the space here? How can I give myself the space and the time so that I feel free to take this inspired action? And it's almost like you're reassessing what is happening in your life and what needs to stay and what needs to go. And the things that you really want, which I think is right now an energetic reserve and a level of peace and a level of comfort and being able to enjoy life, I see you holding on really tightly to that and letting go of the things that are feeling like they're too much. And there's a coming into balance here over time. I think with this Star in reverse is that you feel like you can't take all of the inspired action that you want to right now, but there's an emotional process that was happening here, like I was saying. The emotions are just a little turbulent right now because of all of the change that is happening and your body's just trying to catch up. I think rest is so needed here. And you might feel like you've gotten some rest and you're kind of ready to go and we're looking good, but I think we want more. There's a level of freedom that's been attained here, but we want more. We want to think bigger and we want to be working with source here. And I think that the stillness, being very well rested, having these reserves, having these emotions balanced out and feeling them so that we can process them and get them out and balance everything out is going to give us then the guidance that we need from source. I get this not forgotten, messages from spirit, unbroken connection. And I think that the key to maintaining this unbroken connection on this card is staying in alignment and finding your center, which I think will be done through stillness and meditation practice. And you will come closer and closer to this as you continue to feel these emotions. Again, so much love to you for doing this work, because this is really profound, amazing healing work that we are doing as a soul family here. I think Spirit wants you to know that you're not forgotten. And even when you get caught up in all of these difficult feelings and some of this stuff in the physical that may feel like a bit of a juggling act still and feel like it's not in alignment with you, Spirit really wants you to know that you're not forgotten at this time. And I think that being in the stillness and really stepping into that routine of doing the meditation practice and the stillness every day is going to allow you to maintain that unbroken connection and can continually feel guided. There's a mirroring here. I think Spirit wants you to know that you're not forgotten, but Spirit doesn't want you to forget. And I know you know, and you're not going to forget about Spirit. But in those day-to-day moments, in those little moments, when you're out in public or there's a lot of energy around you and there's a lot going on, I think it will be really beneficial here to, in those moments, in those little moments, to find your center, to come back to the breath, to almost do those micro meditations of 5 or 10 seconds when you're out in public. It's something I do and it's really helpful. And I think that doing the meditation practice every day, maybe first thing in the morning, is going to make it so much easier to stay present. It's going to make you want to stay more present and be more in your center. And this, as a result, is going to increase your level of alignment and make things just feel a lot easier and feel a lot more blissful. And we will be able to spiral outwards quicker because we'll be in balance. So we have to move very slow when there's no balance. But when we're balanced, we can move at a bit more of a pace that kind of feels good, feels like we're making more progress. Okay, well that's good. In the future, I get the Hierophant and the 10 of Wands. You guys are like, man, Dylan's readings aren't fun anymore. First he's telling me I'm shifting timelines, and now he's just telling me to meditate over and over and over. He's telling me to do yoga. Like, this isn't fun, but I'm just playing. Like, I know you guys. I know you know that. I think that this is all going to become a lot more fun than it initially felt. The more we can feel these feelings here, the more we can get this stuff out and feel more in alignment and feel more in our center, it's going to be so much more fun just being. The more we come into alignment here and are really in that center every day and maintaining that space of stillness, it's going to give this level, it'll give us this level of mental clarity, which is so nice and healthy. It's going to give us this feeling of bliss, because we won't need anything. Like, we won't be looking outside of ourselves and trying to find this evidence. And you'll just be able to be more in this frequency of the Nine of Pentacles and just free to enjoy life. And it's going to give us this guidance from Spirit. So we're going to feel so much more safe, so much more connected, and feel like we're on that right path, feel like we're moving in the right direction here. So I think it will be fun. I think this will be really good here. And this Hierophant in the future, and the 10 of Wands upright, I'm really getting here that, like I was saying before, I feel like you guys understand what needs to be done here with the King of Cups, and are now just in the process of following more of your own advice and doing the things that you know are good for you. And this could even be food, like I keep saying rest, but what you're putting into your body, and just maintaining a high standard for yourself, like maintaining a high energetic standard so that you can process all of this. It's going to make you feel a lot more stable if you can get that sleep and make sure you're eating the right things. But I think that doing what you know is good for you with this Hierophant card, using the systems in place and using the tools that have been put, that you have, and these systems that you have put in place that you know are good for you, it's like a doing what you know works. It's like you already know what is going to work here. There's just a process that needs to be moved through as we feel these emotions. And the 10 of Wands upright is really telling me that you're closer than you think. And it feels very heavy. And Spirit is really calling you to just keep working through this, because you're actually much closer than you think. And there's a completion that's happening here. And like I was saying, when we move into this space where we're much more in alignment, things are just going to feel really good. Feel very blissful. And you may just be getting just tested here with the Strength in reverse. And it's all about maintaining this high frequency. That was on the bottom of the deck. Just maintaining this high frequency, staying in alignment, coming back to center, and really leaning into that meditation practice and this stillness. And things are going to work themselves out. They're literally going to work themselves out. And you don't have to worry about how am I going to get from A to Z. You just need to focus on what's in front of you here. Okay. And I think that's really reflected here with the Four of Wands and the Eight of Swords upright, is that there's things you're not seeing. Work on that foundation of happiness, and doing the things that are good for you. And don't, I think the projecting into the future and trying to figure out how it's going to work is potentially keeping you a bit stuck here. And we just want to focus more on building this foundation and building a happy life for ourselves. And this life is going to involve these routines and feeling into this blissful state where we practice the meditation and we do the right things and we do the yoga and we eat the right things and we get the right amount of rest. That's all part of this Nine of Pentacles frequency. So it's like we know what needs to be done, but projecting into the future here is not going to be the thing that helps us. It's more about just kind of, I think, recognizing the growth that has happened, really. There's like a rite of passage that has been moved through here with this Four of Wands upright. It's like you've achieved a level that needs to be celebrated. I was saying this in another reading. Like, there's a level here that needs to be celebrated, and we don't need to push ahead and figure out where we're going with this Seven of Wands upright, just continuing to defend that position while we can shed some of these beliefs and shed these fears and just really step into this routine, this stable foundation of doing the right things, the right habits. I think that's the key here, and it's going to keep us centered. And I get the Empress upright and the Six of Wands upright in the future as your advice. So, I mean, it's perfect. It really ties it all together, because the Empress is just sitting there enjoying life. She's comfortable, she's on the throne, and then there's this energy of being celebrated. I think celebrating yourself, celebrating how far you've come, just like I said right at the start of the reading, really recognizing how far you've come and how much change has been made, and just letting your nervous system and your emotional body catch up a little bit, and just keep enjoying life. Keep doing what you're doing with this Nine of Pentacles. And I'm sending you so much love as you work through this emotional stuff. But I think you guys are all over it. And you've done so well so far. And I see you guys continuing to move through it with a lot of grace. Okay, Two of Cups on the bottom here. Two of Cups on the bottom of the deck. So balance, new relationship, potentially, new love offer. Just an improvement to relationships through this relationship with yourself. So keep doing what you're doing, guys. Celebrate yourself. Enjoy life. And I'm sending you so much love at this time. I appreciate you. Thank you for doing this work. And I'm just going to leave it there. You guys have got it. Find your center. Find your center. Stay in alignment. And I'm hearing everything is going to fall into place. You don't have to worry, because everything is going to fall into place. So thank you again so much. I really appreciate you sharing this space with me. And I will see you in the next reading.